Hello there, Paul from Skills TX. I'm going to follow on with a bit of a common theme that I've been running over the last couple of months, and that is around the need for data quality, reliability and accuracy in that data, because quite often these days we use it to inform AI to help us with our work, and if it's poor quality data, what's the point? So I'm going to come at this from an evidence perspective, but from a slightly different angle where we've got some collaboration going on between an employee and the leadership. So I'm logged in here as a dummy user, Clive Trainer, and up here it's telling me that previously Martin Abid had signed off on one of my skill profiles back in April 25. So down here, this is my latest, I'm up to version 20. I've requested approval, and down here where you can see these, I've actually added some evidence to support. So if I click on that, it's telling me that I've performed some activity, I've had AI analyze that activity and associate it with skills, and I've accepted it, and I've updated my skill profile, and I've converted that activity into a piece of evidence. So that's now all visible to my team. I put my request in, there's some workflow that has initiated asking my team to go and have a look at Clive's profile. So I'll pause and we'll log in as my team. Okay, so I'm now logged in as my team. My team's got a few people that report to her, so if I click on my people, there you go, and down here I can see Clive. There's activity quite rightly because he's been updating his profile, and on the 29th of January he requested approval, and we saw that from Clive's point of view. So now I'm going to go and look at Clive's profile. I can see that approval was requested, and I've got a few options available to me. So first thing I'll probably do is have a look down here. We can look at the evidence that's been loaded. So I can see here basically that there's been some activity that's prompted that, in this case, behavior to be updated. Scroll down, I can see the evidence here against these as well. Same piece of evidence, because you can do a piece of work that addresses multiple skills. All right, so I'm going to make the assumption here that my team was expecting those updates, that the work that's been done was probably with oversight from my team. If not, of course, you can still go and look at the detail. In fact, I'll do that right now. So I'm going to go have a look at the action plan for Clive, and I'm going to have a look at the work that he's been doing. So he's got some completed actions, project management advisory, action IQ generated means an agent generated it. This was the information that was given by Clive, that he's been providing specialist advice, etc., etc. So I've got it all at my fingertips. I'm going to go back to Clive's skill profile, and now I've got three options. I can postpone with a reason, so I can type in something here, and I can request that Clive revises the profile or provides more evidence, and I can send that back to say not quite ready. I can fully approve, and it's going to approve every skill in the profile, and I can put a comment in accordingly, or I can partially approve. So I'm going to click on partial approve. I can cancel it at any point, but now what it's done, it's come down here and it's allowing me to partially approve. So I'm going to select this one and say that's approved, because it's got evidence. Down here, two more pieces of evidence. So basically I'm approving where I can see evidence. So here we go, save those changes, back up here, process the approval, or I can cancel out if I think I've made some mistakes. I'm going to process it, send Clive a message. And that's going to go back to him via email. So he's aware that it's been updated. Now we've got a big change to the banner that's telling me that this profile is partially approved. If I scroll down, I've now got another piece of evidence which says protected. If I click on it, it's telling me that the evidence supporting this skill is a leader actually signing off on it. So you can see that we're layering various levels of evidence against skills and behaviors. If I scroll down, you can see these are the same. In Clive's evidence, there's now evidence explaining that partial approval was provided by Martin, date and time. It's got an expiry date on how long that evidence is going to last. We've set it at 3 years, which is quite common. and then when Clive logs in, he's going to see that that's been updated. So we'll do that very quickly, and then we'll sign off. Okay, so I'm logged in as Clive. You can see that I've got partial approval. Click for details. It's now just showing me the skills that were approved in that partial approval, so I can just filter it down just with one click. I can see that there's protected evidence, which is that it's been signed off by Martine. Come back up here, click on it again for the full profile. And if I make any changes, that approval will disappear, but the evidence will remain against the skills. So we've got this sort of audit trail that's continuous, and as an individual, of course, I can now present my skills with evidence to support it. Maybe I'll want to apply for a job somewhere else in the organisation. So let's have a look. There's a project manager job that I'm a 31% match for. I can do inquire, but what I can also do is send a copy of my self-assessment report, which will include all of the evidence that I've just been showing. So very, very strong relationship to supporting evidence against skills, and really what that means, sounding a little bit like a broken record here, that means that when we switch on AI agents that look at the data in the system, more often than not it's looking at data that is credible and reliable, and therefore the information that I get out from these agents is useful and usable. Thanks again.